Hey, what up, everybody? Stevie Bridge coming to you. Yesterday was the day. It was awesome. It will go down in the history of a WWE, of a wrestling fan. Everyone out there will remember the day that they signed up for the WWE Network. Honestly, in my mind, I really think that this really is a an item that we will be using for years and years to come. I think this will revolutionize, the way you watch wrestling. Maybe some people out there were smart selling off the DVDs. I know they still haven't added up the documentaries yet. Above Average Muda is the one guy that I think of. He's sort of been selling off his collection piece by piece. He's been keeping his disc sets of 3 disc sets, 2 disc sets of certain collection of matches, but like pay-per-views was something that he's been selling off for well over a year now. I mean, the network's been talked about for 2 years, but well known before we knew what the network was, and now he looks like a genius because he was able to move all those out and keep them. I can see myself. The one thing that I'm missing that maybe might come later is like a collection of matches that you can just click on and watch on the network. Because right now, if you're sitting there and you're like, I want to watch a collection of Shawn Michaels matches just in a row, you can't really do that on the network. You can pick out matches in your mind, like I want to watch him versus Taker at WrestleMania 25. Then you have to go to WrestleMania 25. Then you have to fast forward through the whole show. I've heard that if you go on your computer, which I have not done, if you go there's actually chapters you can search through. But when I'm on my iPad and you're watching a show and you want to skip through it, you have to put your finger on the little bar like you're watching a YouTube video and drag it to where you want to go. And the one problem I have with that is I know that we're all watching matches that have happened, years in the past. But there are people out there that might be going back and watching a show that they've never seen before and not know the outcome of the match. And if you scroll too far, then you're already into the match. And you might see somebody all battered up and bruised, or maybe somebody even all selling the finisher. And you're like, oh, fuck, I just saw the end. And then you have to, find the right spot in order to stop it at. I didn't think that the Raw post-game show was anything to really care about. I mean, you got to see, Lesnar, who was laid out in the ring. It seemed like he laid there for 10 minutes before they went to him. It seemed like an eternity because there was time when the Raw ended, and then I remembered that there was a post-game show, and I had to go find it, and then I had to go turn it on, and I don't know. The Apple TV seems to work really, really good. I love the layout. It looks like I'm actually looking at, I've only had Netflix and Hulu on my PS3, but I mean, it's awesome. It's easy to get through anything. You can go check out Instant Classics 8. He has a sort of scroll through, how to use everything, what everything is. But by now, you guys, I tweeted this as a joke yesterday, but it's honest. I mean, if you don't own the WWE Network, why do you follow me? Why are you watching my videos right now? I know that there's people out there in the UK and Canada, even Australia, that they're not supposed to have the network, but they found ways to have the network. My buddy Justin, the RKO infamous NWO, he found a pretty easy way to do it when he lives in Canada. I don't know if he's willing to share that secret or not, but there's videos out there, and there's people posting stuff on there's people posting videos on Netflix. No, there's people posting videos onto Facebook, onto Twitter, it's just sort of step by step. This is how you do it, and everything like that. I watched sort of one of the things I watched when I was watching the live stream last night was almost like a commercial of what to watch and what you can see as you watch the WWE Network. And I mean, they had a 10-minute clip of a Dustin Rhodes sort of autobiography sort of video, which would normally be a DVD release you'd get. It was really, really good. It sort of picked up with him, talking about what Goldust was going to be, and they showed the Hollywood Backlot Brawl. Oh, they talked about what it was like when Vince McMahon was coming up with the character for Goldust, that he was going to be this actor, and they were showing those sort of drawings out of what the character was going to look like before they decided to turn him gold, and he was just going to be some sort of movie star coming in, and then they turned him into painting him up like Oscar, like the Oscar award where he just dressed in all gold and then he painted himself gold, and I don't know, and then Vince McMahon pitched him the idea and he used a word that he didn't know what it was, and he's like, yeah, Vince, that's a good idea, just because he sort of just wanted a job. And then, like, the second he got off the phone with Vince, he ran to the dictionary and looked it up, and he was like, I'm a gay guy. All right. And, he just did what he had to do, and it's sort of the progressions of Goldust, how Goldust went from, like, being, sort of that, I love men and I love women kind of guy, and then he went to the S&M sort of fetish guy when he had Luna with him, and that, morphed into him, getting shocked by evolution, and then he was doing the whole gimmick where he was just sort of, slurring all his words and sputtering and stuff like that. I really like that stuff, and I really hope that there's a lot of that, because Goldust is a guy that's been pushing for a DVD for a couple of years. I remember in 2010 he was on Twitter sort of trying to rally up the band in order to get a DVD put out on him, thinking that his career was good enough. And now you get to the point where he's got the Rhodes Family, and that was one of the DVDs that was on the list of, like, should we put this out? Maybe that's what it was. It didn't really say what it was. It just sort of was showing you things to come. I watched an episode of an old ECW show. Honestly, it wasn't great. It was sort of like the progression of ECW. This is when it was still involved with the NWA, and the championship match was a steel cage match, and this was from 1994, I believe is when it was from, and this was Terry Funk's retirement match. One last stand for the Funker. Him versus Jimmy Snuka in a cage, and Terry Funk won the title. I watched it. It is what it is. I mean, hardcore TV, they're not all going to be great, but it was fun. I watched some stuff on there that I really normally wouldn't watch, but we'll have to see what goes down from here. I mean, like, I heard and saw that there was problems with the on-demand features last night. Once Raw was over and I was flipping through, I could almost get anything, and then almost about an hour after Raw, the stuff went blank except for, accessing the live stream. But 24-hour live stream of wrestling, you can't really complain about that, no matter what's on it. I mean, like I said, I watched hardcore TV last night. Probably wouldn't have been one thing that I really would have saw if it wasn't for the WWE Network, so I'm glad. When I get home today, I'm actually going to call into the AT&T, cancel the U-verse, say thank you, but no thank you. I don't need any TV anymore. Don't need that $89 bill coming every month. And, this is life from here on out. Netflix, Hulu, and the WWE Network. What else do you need? Peace out.